Hey there, viewers, a Transformers fan or Charlie Young back again with another Transformers review. And today's review is going to be on Agent Prime's Powerglide. Now, initially I was going to do this video yesterday, but of course with that whole Thomas video that was a fucking hour long. Well, first of all, if you watched that video, thank you so much. And if you haven't, well, it's your decision if you want to watch it or not. But for Powerglide here, weirdly, compared to the rest of his wave, he showed up a lot later than the other pre-orders. Why? I have no idea. He's probably spending time with his girlfriend or something, which I'll get to later. But anyway, for the box. So, of course, we've got the standard Agent of Prime's packaging. So, yeah, we've got Powerglide here in both modes. Autobot Powerglide. Here, we've got, it takes 20 steps to transform him. This side, we've got another picture of Powerglide. This side, some of the 13. The back, we've got him in both modes. Got a really cool reference to one episode, which I'll show soon. And we got the funny alien mask from another episode. So, yeah. And well, that's pretty much it for the box. And well, for the figure itself, well, pretty standard for Powerglide. He's an A10 Thunderbolt. Or Warthog, whatever you want to call this jet. I just call it an A10 or Thunderbolt. And, yeah, it's pretty standard. And honestly, I quite like how this looks. And I think we're pretty close to completing the mini-bots. I'm trying to think who else there is to do. Maybe a new hubcap? But yeah, this guy does look really nice. Let's see here, we've got the cockpit, and I think this is meant to be extended out. Come on. There we go. So we've got the little front gun there. And of course, this whole thing is his head, so you can do some funny things, which I'll show soon. But yeah, we've got the nose cone here with the cockpit. Here we have the wings with Autobot symbols on them, which is pretty nice. And yeah, we do have visible hands, but oh well. Got the thrusters, which honestly, I feel the thrusters are a bit low down. Like, if they were like maybe about here, then I think it would look a lot better. Because as it stands right now, I think the thrusters are a bit too low. But oh well. But for the tail fins, yeah, the tail fins look fine. And I guess if you want, you can flip these out to extend the tail fins. If you want to do that. These are going to be the feet in robot mode. Under the sides, not really much. Just have the front of the robot mode here. But one funny thing is, yeah, the way that they tried to hide the face. Well, I say try, they actually do succeed in hiding the face. And I guess this is an optional step, but I think this is in the instructions. Like, they do want you to hide the face, so at least he's not, like, looking down at people as he's flying. But this does have another feature I'll show soon. Like, when we get to robot mode. But anyway, last thing, and this is something really cool. Look at this. They molded in a fucking rub sign. Like, come on, that's awesome. Now, obviously, it's just a molded in detail. There is no way that this works, you see? It's just a painted on detail, but they added a fake rub sign. Now, I would have preferred if this somehow still worked, but given the transformation, I can see why it doesn't work. But still, it's a really fun reference, and I wish they would do that more often. Like, come on. If they don't mind, like, adding a fake rub sign to Powerglide, they could do that with the Retro G1 guys, at least. Because, of course, you know, this was like the front of the jet and for the G1 toy. So, yeah. Now, one thing I do wish he had was landing gear, because right now it's pretty much just the arms that he's sitting on. You can see he just sits on his arms and the tail fins. Like, maybe if he had some small landing gear, but I mean, come on, it's a small deluxe. So, but when we get to the accessories, well, first thing that we get is this standard Autobot gun. Like, you know, it's the standard one that everyone uses in the show. Can this one take blast effects though? I don't think so. Nope. Can't take blast effects, unfortunately. But we can just plug that on top. Oh. Or I guess if you want, you can plug it under the wings, if you really want to. But yeah, it is meant to go on top here. And then we also get this funny alien mask, which is a reference to the episode Hoist Goes Hollywood, which is essentially like Hoist, Sunstreaker, Powerglide, Trax, and I'm trying to remember who else. I'll put in the other one here, because I can't remember off the top of my head. But, like Hoist becomes a movie star, and some other Autobots join in, and they essentially play the role of alien invaders, and they get these masks. So, that's where this comes from, and I think it's a pretty funny reference. It's unnecessary, like they could have used the budget to tool in some tail fins, but I still think it's kind of neat. And this can just go on here. Because why not? Sure. Yeah, I kind of prefer to leave this off. But yeah, that's essentially it for the jet mode. So for a quick comparison, here we have Combiner Wars. And we see that actually had a landing gear, and that tail fin is struggling. I think this tail fin's on the verge of breaking, but anyway, yeah, here's Combiner Wars Powerglide. And yeah, this was a Legends figure. And I think this took some more, like, stylistic takes, because, you know, Combiner Wars was more, like, IDW-centric, I think. Like, there's a third booster at the back that this doesn't have. So, yeah. And well, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Overall, I quite like it. Honestly, my only complaint is, and it's more a nitpick, I wish it had some sort of landing gear, but aside from that, I think it's a pretty good vehicle mode. So, for the transformation, I mean, it's mostly pretty standard, but there are some interesting things. So to start off, I'm going to take these bits here on the tail fins and just flip them up. Then I'm just going to undo this bit. I'm going to push it a little gun in. And this allows for head movement, so I guess if you want, you can turn this around so he can look around like a freaking Viacon. But yeah, that's going to allow for head movement. just take the wings, untap them, and just rotate them 90 degrees. And now, for this panel here with the ports, we want to try and untap that, like so. Come on. So just double hinge this panel up. And I'll tab into the back like so. And I'll expose the legs like so. Now we can just lift up the wings. And they will sort of hook into these bits here on the torso. And now he's starting to take shape. Split the legs. Move these down. So move the tail fins down and then rotate these around 180 degrees. And then these bits here, these are going to fold up. Now these thruster sections, these are just going to hinge down. And it's quite easy to just detach them, so be careful, because I can foresee this guy missing these bits in like maybe 3 years' time if I try to look this for this guy on eBay. So just be careful. So I'm just going to untab this. So you can see that the arm goes into this little port here. Just rotate that around. Undo the elbow, move that down. And then try and get the fist out. Sometimes this is easier said than done. There we go. So that's one arm done. So with this arm, again, I'm just going to untab, rotate this around. Just move the forearm down. Get the fist out. Come on. There we go. And he's nearly there. He's just faceless. So what you're going to want to do is lift this up to give you leverage. And then just spin around the face. There we go. And I can just push back in. And here we have Powerglide in robot mode. And yeah, that's quite the interesting transformation, because, I mean, yeah, there's some interesting steps there, namely how the feet transform. Because, like, compared to the Combiner Wars one, like, these just flip out to become the freaking feet. So, yeah, it's quite interesting. And the resulting robot mode, I mean, it's Powerglide. And I love Powerglide. So, yeah. Now, we're just having a quick 360 of him. Yeah, not really much kibble here. Like, the backpack's pretty clean. We still have the rub sign here, now just split in half. The head, again, that is Powerglide right there. Like, that looks really good. And of course, it's got the face spinning gimmick, so. But before I show the accessories, I think there is one cool thing that the box showed. So we just come here, and we can open up his chest, and look at that. He's got a heart, or it's all like LEDs forming a heart. Because, of course, that's from the episode where he's got a girlfriend, or a human girlfriend, Astoria. Although there's another episode where he's got a Cybertronian girlfriend, Moonracer. So I guess Valentine's Day is kind of awkward for this guy. But, I mean, I guess he's got 2 bitches, so good on you, buddy. But this is a really cool reference. It's something that the Universe toy also did. Although, to be fair, Universe Powerglide had him on steroids, so. Whereas this is a lot more accurate to the show. So, yeah. And I guess while we're talking about things from the show, let's see how this thing attaches on, so we can turn him into a freaking alien. I mean, technically Cybertronians are aliens, but like, 1950s sci-fi alien. So, like, you're not meant to just put the thing on normally. You're actually supposed to spin around the face first. So yeah, that's kind of freaky looking, but you see these ports here? It just pegs on. And now he's wearing the mask. So if you want to display him like this, then sure, go ahead. I'm not stopping you. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think this is just something that they included to use up extra budget. But I mean, sure, why not? Like, for me, this accessory feels like something that you'd, like, put on, take pictures with, and then just leave it off for, like, most of his shelf life. Because honestly, yeah, I don't really know what to say about this. Like, he did it in one episode, and then that was it. So, yeah. If there was, like, a good place to store it, then sure, but, yeah. Because, like, there's, like, no good place to put it anywhere. Come on. Spin this back around. Because, well, if we just give him his gun back, really the intended storage place for this little mask is on the gun. Which, okay, sure, why not, I guess. Yeah, me personally, I would have given him the extra gun from the prototype. Like, when we first saw this figure, he had 2 guns, and I would have just given him the second gun instead of this weird mask. Like, it's funny, but once you stopped using it, like, where am I supposed to put this aside from on the gun? So, yeah. Again, as we saw earlier, this doesn't say plastic effects, which is kind of crappy, but oh well. In fact, there's not that many blast effect ports in this guy. Really, it's just like, well, there's not that many like combat ports in this guy. It's really just up here on the wings and the back. We don't even have any. Well, there's none on their feet. Like most modern figures at least still have combat ports from Siege on the feet, but Powerglide, nothing. So, but anyway, putting him with the Combiner Wars figure, because remember, this was a Legends figure from like, what, 11 years ago? Honestly, I do like the Combiner Wars Powerglide, but I think the 8 to the Primes one just looks a bit better. Maybe it's because it scales better, because it's a deluxe, but I don't know. Like, I think that the shade that they used for the shade of gray that they used for the arms looks better, because this just looks yellowed. Maybe it is. I don't know. Like, there's no weird like ass flap this time around, because this is a gun as well. So, yeah. So I guess, like, if you're the type of collector to fully upgrade figures and get rid of the old one, then here you go. So if you still want the mold, then I guess there is a Viper. Although I think we are getting a Viper from this mold soon. So, yeah. So I guess there's also like the G2 colors from that Superion set. Maybe they'll do like the G2 colors for this guy as well. That would be cool. Anyway, for this guy's articulation, let's just quickly remove the gun for this. The head can, of course, move around because you have to literally, like, unclip it from the jet mode. But yeah, the head can move around. Or if you want to be hilarious, you can literally just move the face around. Although that's kind of cursed. It kind of reminds me of like the flip face engines from the Thomas Trackmaster range, if you remember those. But yeah, the head can move. Arms can move. It's kind of tight, but it's doable. Of course, elbows. He can break his elbow. Wrists can really only just go backwards. So it's like holding a sword, and there you go. You can. It's got a waist swivel. He can kick really far. So I don't know if his story is being annoying. He can just punch her into the stratosphere. Kick back about that far. Kind of like a fake ratchet there on the, like, it feels like a ratchet, but I don't think it's a ratchet joint, but kind of like a ratchet on the knee. Like it kind of goes into place. Yeah, we got a bit, 90 degrees there at the knee. Of course, swivel there at the thigh. He can do the splits. And I guess if you... Okay, yeah, pivot's about to there. Although the foot can swivel due to the transformation, so that's cool. So, honestly, yeah, I think this is a pretty decent figure. Really, my only nitpicks with it, well, this. But if I can get him holding the gun again. Honestly, the main thing I don't really like is the mask. And that's not me saying I hate it. It's perfectly fine. It's just, I think they could have used the budget from this to maybe either give him the second gun like they did with the prototype, or maybe mold in a small landing gear for the jet mode. But this does no harm. It's perfectly fine. Because overall, I think this is a perfectly fine figure. Like, it's fun to transform. Like, it works as a desk toy. And I think it's a perfectly good It's a perfectly good Powerglide. Like, compared to the other Powerglide figures that we've gotten, so like Universe, which that was Powerglide on steroids. Dark of the Moon, which was more like if Powerglide was in the films. And of course, Combiner Wars, which that was pretty decent. But again, this was Legends, and this was more meant to go with Superion as like a gun for him. I think this is currently our best Powerglide, official-wise, not like third party. So yeah, do I recommend him? Yeah, I definitely do recommend him, because he's quite cool looking, he's fun, and plus, even if I don't like the mask gimmick, it still, like, lets you give, it still allows for some funny pictures, and plus, come on, that's a really cool gimmick as well. So yeah, definitely do recommend this figure, especially if you're a huge Powerglide fan. So yeah, this has been my review on Age of the Prime's Powerglide, and this is a Transformers fan signing off.